Hiya, folks. This is Rick Hammond of Triumph.
This is Mark Merrill, also known as Johnny B. Bad.
Yo, guys, it's Mark McKay.
Hey, this is Frank Fletcher.
Hola, amigos. This is Billy Sheehan.
Hey, guys, this is John Karabi.
Hey, guys, it's Leva Leone.
What's up, guys? Cassandra Carson here from Paralandra and the Life Project.
What's up, everybody? It's Logan from All the Pretty Things.
Hey, this is Cody Howell.
Hey, this is Sammy Lee, drummer of the band Red Rain.
My name's Reggie, and you are listening to the Weekly Pour podcast. Thanks so much for joining the most amazing twosome out there.
The most amazing things that can happen to a human being will happen to you if you lower your expectations. Welcome to the Weekly Pour podcast. Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace.
Here are your hosts, TBT and Ace. That's us. Hey, welcome. This is the Weekly Pour podcast. This is episode number 99. One away from 100 and our very last episode ever.
Right. Okay. Because we vowed that we would get to 100.
And we'd be done.
No, that's it.
Yeah. So we're almost there. You're almost rid of us. Like always, we are live on the YouTubes. We are live on the Facebooks. Jump in there. We got both chats running. Say hi, hit the thumbs up, hit the like, whatever it is that's on there. We usually do this on X as well. And yeah, well, it didn't do it this time. So screw X. We're just not going to be there.
What was X's problem?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. It's political overload, I'm sure.
Well, I've experienced that trying to go to certain websites that you're just getting a black screen,
right?
Because it's just so many people just trying to get to that site to read a certain story. I've never seen anything quite like it. Not in a long time. Not in the modern internet age.
No, and here's another thing. Somebody had asked why we hadn't been utilizing Instagram Live. Because we do have an Instagram page as well. The problem with doing this on Instagram Live is Instagram wants you to have like a visual or screen super, super tiny. I don't know if I can do it in the middle of this, but I would almost be able to show you what we would look like. Nope, I can't. I can't do it in the middle of a live broadcast, but it basically, we would be tall. So like, we'd be like, it just wouldn't work. So therefore you have to go to the YouTubes or you have to go to Facebook. So whatever, suck it up.
I remember you trying, to use, Instagram, and I think we had someone on, a guest, and you were trying to fit all three of us in that screen for Instagram and it wasn't working.
Yeah. So whatever. Don't care. Well, I will mention this because it's the first thing that I need to do. Natalie is not late this week. She's in. Natalie was late last week. I think it was last week she was late. Like doing her hair or something like that. I don't remember what it was. She's our moderator who's in the YouTubes. Who else is in there right now? Shannon's in there. Mama TBT's in there. And there's more in there, but you just ain't saying anything. So if you're there, say hi. Jump in. Entertain. Elephant in the room.
Where?
Wherever you're at, because you're not where you're normally at.
No, I am in the New York studio this week.
Oh.
Doing the show from actually a different spot in the studio. I set up in a different room. And I am struggling with this lighting, trying to get it right.
You look very tanned.
I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to fix it.
Untan.
Well, I can't do that. I do have a little bit of a tan, but no matter what I do, the light is just incredible in here.
Yeah.
So I guess you'll be forced to look at me like this.
You have to put sunglasses on if you lower your head down like that again. So if you're just listening to this and not actually watching the live, Ace is, as he said, in his New York studio. Lighting is horrible. I mean, it's not too bad.
I look like I've had Botox.
Yeah. Or you had some bad times with a wasp nest. What just happened to your lighting?
Better?
The lighting assistant, the lighting tech, just
Fired.
handed me the switch for my
This is
mobile.
the normal technical side. There, that much better.
It's right here. See this cord? Follow that cord, and when you turn that light off, I can adjust it.
Is this why we don't have more listeners or watchers than normal? Because we figure out all the technical stuff in the middle of the show?
What it does? Yes.
Okay.
No, they actually they tune in for this.
Yeah, for this banter and whatever we want to call it.
I mean, now I am in a darkened room.
Right. So has Skid Row. They have. I love that song.
I'd actually prefer this.
Well, if that's the case, then shouldn't I not match it?
I don't want you to be blacked out.
Okay. I'm putting
matter
my
what-
back on. I need enough light to shine off my head.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. We want to see that shiny, bulbous reflection on your head.
Bulbous? What am I, a ship now? It's a bulbous bow?
I was on a ship yesterday.
You were probably on a boat.
I was, and I thought of you because we floated by the Coast Guard station, and I refused this time to send you a picture like I did last year.
Yeah.
But I thought of you because we were talking about sterns and bows and ports and
starboards.
Things like that.
Why were you on a boat, a vessel?
We like to take the boat tours that are offered way up north near Canada. So,
were you underway or were you tied to a dock?
No, we were underway. We were floating away into the big St. Lawrence River.
So literally out on a boat. Nice.
Yeah, I enjoy it thoroughly.
Excellent. So I'm putting 2 and 2 together here because, math. You're in New York. You're in the other studio. That means Kathy is somewhere.
Yeah, she's somewhere. She's working, but she should be here any moment now.
Well, that would be great. It might be nice to see her since she stood us up last week.
Well, I have a chair if she shows up, but we'll have to fit her into my poorly lit studio.
You'll have to turn the lights back on so we can see her.
I guess.
Good grief. So you been up there for a few days or?
We got up here Saturday, so yeah.
Nice.
Let me tell you, getting up here, I thought the whole trip was going to be canceled at one point. We were supposed to leave on Friday,
right?
And bright and early Friday, and I came home from one of my many jobs Thursday night to a massive water leak. Yeah, massive water leak in my bedroom.
Oh snap!
Yeah. So
is
I
it
cleaned
still
that mess
leaking?
up.
You just said screw it and left.
Yeah, that's why I'm not back there.
Nice.
No, I shut the water off, went to bed, and took care of it in the morning. And that took all day.
But, okay, so it wasn't such an easy fix, but you were at least able to find it.
It was supposed to be an easy fix. It should have been an easy. But if you know anything about plumbing, it's never an easy fix, and you will make no less than 3 or 4 trips to the hardware store.
Right.
Which is what I did. And it got to the point where it was pretty much beyond me, and I had to call help and get someone in to help me. Yeah.
Natalie figured it was your water bed.
My what?
Your water bed.
I had a water bed once. We loved that thing.
I had one too. I got seasick.
Please. You were in the Coast Guard.
I did not get seasick. Yeah, I didn't like it. It was the typical 80s freaking waterbed, you know, the nice big wooden frame with the shelves in the back that, you know, you put things that can't fall off and puncture the bed.
Yeah, which you didn't do.
No, the worst thing is having a cat.
Yes, we had a cat that would, use the claws and knead up the bed, and we had little pink holes everywhere.
Yeah. According to
like
Digital Viper, you were practicing your WWE moves on the waterbed.
I have done that before.
Why does everybody do that? Every single person just immediately goes to the gutter when we have an issue. Oh, you got a water leak. Oh, it's because
I
he was
didn't say
up on the bed. It's everything. It's everything. Well, while you were doing that Saturday, I was thinking about you.
how so.
I was laying down in bright lights for 8 hours.
What were you doing? Oh, you were doing the thing.
Yeah, doing the thing, getting poked by a bunch of needles. Go ahead, turn that into something, people. Yeah, great. Yeah, I was getting therapy. That's how I get
How
therapy.
many how many hours was that?
It was 8
You were
minus
there that
minus about an hour for lunch dinner, maybe 45 minutes. So yeah, at least 7.5 hours.
wow.
Yeah. Wes, does it look like I got hair replacement full? Come on. Goodness gracious. Yeah, 7.5 hours. Fun times. Nothing like getting stuck by needles gazillion times.
Let me just clarify something for Wes though, because you were not a victim of male pattern baldness.
No.
No, just for everyone's knowledge, TBT just doesn't like hair, and so he shaves his head. It's a choice.
Yes.
He doesn't like hair on the top of his head.
I could grow this all out.
Yes, you could. I've seen it.
Very true.
Yeah, and you got up to a little bit of what about that much one time, and then shaved it all off.
Yeah. I wish I had a photo closer and available to show what it used to look like back in the day.
Oh, the lion's mane.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that
But,
was impressive.
but
Like
we don't have
like
it.
the Nelson twins didn't have nothing on you.
No. No. And you can blame it on the rain. White rain shampoo and conditioner.
Do they sponsor us
They should.
now?
Yeah, that and whatever. What was the hairspray? Aquanet.
That's powerful stuff, but bad for the ozone.
Yeah, ozone was great in the movie Breakin'. You don't remember that?
No, you lost me on that one.
You don't remember the movie Breakin'?
No.
Well, breakdancing.
About breakdance. Yeah, I knew it would be.
Turbo and ozone.
What movie can you make about breakdancing for a trend that actually lasted 6 months?
You can make Breakin'. You can make Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Know that one.
See? So if you know that one, you have to know the original Breakin'.
But I mean, is this about like someone's dreams to like make it big in the breakdancing world?
No.
So they can travel the world breakdancing?
Actually, it was somebody's dream to make it big dancing, like pop dancing. Kelly, the main female character, or her street name, Special K. I'm not kidding. She goes to this. I don't know if she went to the underground club. It's been a couple years since I've seen it. 20. She goes and she sees all this happening, and they're breakdancing. And then they get into some fights. And you know how you settle the fights back in the day when you could break dance?
You breakdance.
You had dance off.
That's right.
Dude, Ice-T was in this movie.
Was he breakdancing?
No, he was wiki, rapping. I'm going to watch it this weekend. I'm going to find it. Is it available?
Is that the best way to settle our differences?
Yeah, breakdancing.
Then why don't more people do it?
Cardboard shortage.
Because you got to have the requisite piece of cardboard to do it on.
Yeah. And Natalie just texted me a picture. No, that's not the one I'm looking for. And if that was the one, I wouldn't use it. That's not the one. It's a different one. Look for the brush in the back pocket. Anyway, yeah, breakdancing. Cardboard shortage cuts that out, and people stop using cardboard. And then Amazon came along. I have a garage full of cardboard that I specifically save for that time I get challenged to breakdance.
Which could happen at any moment.
Any split second. I'm waiting for Wes to just pull up in the driveway wearing his bandana, his spikes and his parachute pants and saying, let's go. And then you know what? It's on and I break it out.
Well, does he have to have some sort of like soliloquy about why he's upset with you?
Well, number one, stop using big words.
That's a common word.
Well, yeah, in France.
It's also Shakespearean.
Oh, well, there you go, because I don't know Shakespeare.
Well, sorry that I read something once.
That's okay. It's okay.
So should Wes have a motive that he discusses it to himself on camera while driving to your place?
Maybe.
Because,
well, yeah,
I mean,
because he'll have to come up with a reason. He'd be like, oh, I'm just going to show over. It's not like he's going over and like, hey, I want to borrow some milk. It's going to be like, yo, I got some beef. Why did your moderator ban my other account and not know how to unban me? That's good enough. That's all he needs.
Yeah. So I Wes is already challenging you. He's practicing.
You know what? I'm not even reading his stuff. I refuse.
He's ready to go.
Practicing my pop and lock as we speak. Oh, okay. You know what? Bring it. Because you don't know this like I know this. See, there you go. There's your picture right there.
You know, do they explain in Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo what the Electric Boogaloo is?
Well, you got to understand the premise behind that story was to save the club.
What club?
And how are you going to save it? Breakdancing.
Did they have some sort of charity event?
They did, as a matter of fact.
And people showed up and admired their breakdancing and donated?
They donated money to help save the club. We're talking car washes, bake sales, break-offs, dance off, all of it. All of it. But you know what? There's always somebody who doesn't like it.
Right. Probably someone from the city council who
It's always the city council.
Someone who employs his own breakdancers.
But what happens at the end when the city council says, you know what? This is a good idea. And they save it. I mean, I'm not to spoil it, even though I just did. That's what they do.
Did they think that the club was a detriment to the society and it needed to be abolished?
Yeah, it's nothing but drugs.
Exactly. And it attracts riffraff and things that we don't want in our city.
I am pretty sure the term riffraff was used.
I guarantee it was. And did Kevin Bacon show up?
No, he was too busy in the Midwest trying to be able to dance at the prom.
Right, because dancing had been banned in that small town.
Exactly.
Man, the 80s hated dancing.
I'm just going to throw this up there right now. Who are those people?
The gang?
Yeah.
Are they from Wakanda?
No. By golly. Far right? That's Special K right there. The guy in the middle with the Civil War hat? I think that's Ozone. And then the dude on the far left's Turbo. You got to have Turbo, Ozone, and Special K. I don't know about the two in the back.
Why do these sound like cut rate superheroes?
They're not, man. Those are breakers. You better show some respect.
What is the career life of I mean, how long can you break dance before you're just too old?
Until you run out of cardboard or the music just kind of goes out. That's what happened.
It just moves on. It moves on.
It went away. Just went away. Man.
What a craze. What a craze.
We should probably get into some news because I'm pretty sure that's what people tune in for.
I don't know.
So this is very close to breakdancing. After breakdancing came metal, hair metal, and what better representative for hair metal than Steel Panther?
Okay.
See how I segued right into that?
That's right, because they are the people who are closest to what hair metal used to be.
Yeah. So speaking of Steel Panther,
didn't bring it up for nothing. They have just announced their 15th anniversary edition of their debut album, Feel the Steel, and an anniversary tour. It was way, way, way after breakdancing. Released in 2009, Feel the Steel, that is Steel, will be 2009 is going to be remembered as the year that Michael Jackson passed away. Inglourious Bastards was released from Quentin Tarantino. Or Modern Warfare 2, Call of Duty was released. Oh no, that doesn't top anything. Because Feel the Steel was released from Steel Panther. Burst onto the music.
It's got death to all but metal.
One of the best songs that they've ever put out. If you've never listened to it, Death to All But Metal from Steel Panther, it's a classic. So they are releasing their 15th anniversary edition of this album, I believe in November. November 15th, it'll be released worldwide. And Kathy may be able to get it. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're releasing it in lots of different ways. CD, vinyl, cassette. You guys remember what a cassette is?
I love that. I love that they were putting that out in cassette.
Yeah,
I said cassette.
Take over.
So, because the cassette craze has come upon us, like the vinyl craze has come upon us. Now we have cassettes again. What is that?
This is the Steel Panther signed 8-track that is an 8-track. I don't know what's on it. I can't play it.
Why?
I don't have an 8-track player.
Why did you get an 8-track and not have an 8-track player?
Because it's signed by Steel Panther. Why would you not?
I think they should have at least told you what was on it. Did you order that or pick it up at the show?
It doesn't matter. I just got it.
Well, I just thought it would be interesting to know if you picked it up at a show, like maybe it was at the merch table.
No, it was not. Our friend, the FOD, put me in on this and said, hey, go check this out. So I did, and now I have it.
Well, good for him.
It's $5.
Oh, that's it?
I think so. It's either $5 or $10. I don't know.
I bet it's twice that value now.
Anyway, Feel the Steel 15th Anniversary Edition contains all the normal tracks, 10 tracks, 11 tracks, actually, including 2, so it's a total of 13, that were only released in Japan back in the day. You Don't Make Me Feel Dumb is track number 12.
Okay.
And track number 13
wait.
is
what
another
is track
one.
Number 13?
It's another one that was only, it's a bonus track originally available only in Japan.
Go ahead and say it.
It's track number 13. If you know anything about Steel Panther, you know that their songs sometimes have innuendos about them.
Or sometimes they just come out and say
it. And sometimes they just come out and say it. Some of the songs from this album include The Shocker, Use Your Imagination, It Is What You're Thinking. Of course, Death to All But Metal, Asian Hooker.
Yeah.
Community Proper. Why was it Asian Hooker only released in okay. Community Proper.
Why is track 13 only released in Japan?
Yeah, I don't know. Why are we only getting it in 2024 when we should have had that song a long time ago?
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Track number 8 on there is called Turn Out the Lights. Stripper Girl is track number 9. So yeah, 13 total tracks, including the last 2 that were previously unreleased in the United States and only in Japan. They're going to also head out on a Feel the Steel 15th anniversary tour. It's going to kick off in Huntington, New York on November 20th.
and run through December 13th, where it wraps up in Orlando, Florida. So yeah, get out and see Steel
hey,
Panther.
they'll be in our neck of the woods on the 3rd of December.
December 3rd, yep. In Indianapolis at the Egyptian Room. Well, looks like I may have just found another concert to go to this year.
So that's not the one where you got to stand up, right? That's not the ballroom.
No, that would be. No, it is.
Oh, okay. So I'd have to stand. It's standing room only.
Yeah, I've been there to see him before.
Okay.
Yeah, the Egyptian
Okay.
Room. Yeah, that was. I was thinking of. There's a place down in Louisville, Kentucky, called the Mercury Ballroom. I've seen
Right.
them there as well, and that is one of those standing room only places as well.
Right, because they have a theater too. The Mirage does, whatever it's called now.
Right.
So you can have shows in the theater or in the ballroom.
Correct.
Those are typically, well, I mean, pretty good price. But it's standing room only. You're standing. They have seating along the sides.
Right.
That's reserved just for VIPs that you pay a little bit more, but those go quickly.
Oh,
Those go really fast.
It's almost like they go before they're ever released. Kind of like every other concert ticket. The cool thing would be is if you could get them in your living room, like just have a home concert.
I don't know how you would do that.
Well, I know someone who does.
This is interesting too, that you bring this up. Yeah, I never thought about this, but this is about Mike Tramp,
right?
Former lead of White Lion, and he says he's available for private in-house shows in your living room.
Yeah.
So I haven't skimmed. I only skimmed this article, but I wonder if he gives a price. Like, what would that cost?
He does not. So in this interview, the interviewer says that the idea of going to a stranger's house to play songs terrifies him. And Mike Tramp said that he would only be terrified if they stood there with shotguns and locked the door and said, "You ain't leaving." He didn't really say it with that accent, but I'm sure it was that. In this interview, he continues to say that he's done many of those things with an acoustic guitar, but this time they're doing it with a full band because we're carrying a full digital system. So in reality, we could almost hook up straight to your stereo and not even make any more noise than if you just had a couple of friends over playing. Never mentions a price. However, this sounds like the very first Weekly Pour podcast festival featuring Mike Tramp's White Lion.
That's pretty cool though, but that he would bring all of that, you would have to have a pretty good space to put him in.
Yeah.
And obviously, if you're doing that, you're going to bring some friends over and hopefully have them chip in a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not doing it just for 3 or 4 people.
Oh, no.
No, we're having some people over, but that would be pretty cool if you could afford it to have him do a private party. But private parties aren't unusual, but they're usually at I think bigger venues with people that have a lot
and all that stuff.
Right. I mean, it's got a big stage, all of that stuff. But I mean, he's literally he's just bringing what you might have if you had a band,
right?
Which is a small sound system and your drums and your amps and just playing a nice little intimate show. So that would be neat.
Yeah. He's also going to be releasing Songs of White Lion Volume 2 on August 23rd. The album's 10 tracks once again see Mike Tramp re-imaging select cuts from his former band White Lion. So even though the band is called Mike Tramp's White Lion, it's kind of like Jack Russell's Great White. It's not all the original members. It's just him. And actually, it's been since 2000. I don't remember the last time Vito Bratta, very underrated guitarist, by the way,
I don't remember the last time he actually played as, White Lion. I know they broke up 33 years ago, and Vito Bratta is pretty much non-existent.
Yeah. Yeah. Vito has recently come out and explained where he has been. I think we've discussed this before, but
Right.
a lot of people ask about Vito Bratta to various rock outlets, like where is he? What's he doing? And some of these guys just disconnect. When they do it, they're in it, and then when it's over, and they go back to doing something else. But Vito had talked about at one point just moving back home and moving in with his, I believe, his parents, who were elderly at that point, and taking care of his parents. The interview I read with him, they had him go up to the attic and pull out his old guitars, and a couple of them had been like moth eaten and kind of dinged up a bit from being stored up in an attic, and things that happened in there like mice and such.
Yeah.
Which wow, think of those guitars and what they could have been. But I think he was also having some hand issues. He was having some trouble playing even.
Yeah, I think he needed a hand job.
I think he did. I think he did.
It's been since September of 1991 that Mike Tramp and Vito Bratta have shared the stage as White Lion, and that was actually the last concert performed was September of 1991 in Boston. So yeah, it's been a short while.
I do think Vito had also come out saying he would like to play again. That he thinks he's close to being ready just to come out and do something. He's not the only one that's kind of disappeared. Chris DeGarmo of Queensryche does nothing publicly musically. I think he has a daughter that is a professional musician of some sort that he works with her.
Yeah,
I think that. But I mean, he doesn't do interviews. He's just out of it. Once it was over, it was over.
Yeah, he was done. To go along with this whole thing about playing in your living room, many people, I guess, have been asking Mike Tramp, and he said that people have been asking us about doing some private / in-house shows on this tour. And when you ask, you shall receive. Below is a list of potential markets or regions we are making available. And it goes on to list places like Charlotte, North Carolina, Cincinnati, Ohio, of course, Nashville, Tennessee, Baton Rouge. There's a number of them, none of which are close to us.
Well, I wondered that, though, because would he want to fly into Indianapolis and then drive, 2 hours south, pull into my house, my driveway, in my addition? That seems like a lot.
No. You got it wrong. You would be flying him in. You would be picking him up. You would be feeding him in the band. So yeah, I can only imagine. If you want to know, you can jump onto Mike Tramp's Facebook, and there's the contact information there for their exclusive agent. If you are interested and serious about potentially putting on one of these events. The agent is out of Las Vegas. So yeah, whatever. There's also a 2024 tour that's kicking off in August, and it's hitting a crap ton of places. Looks like theaters, maybe some bars and whatnot, and that's going to October 25th. And hello, Kathy. It was so good to see you. There you are. How are you?
In my horrible life.
Hi. I'm good.
She actually looks better in the lighting than you do, Mr. Botox.
Sure she
does.
Just in from slaving away.
Hey, I'm just going to make myself a spot right here.
That's perfect. The one thing that this article does not mention is price, like we said. So it makes me really want to send an email just to say, hey, what do you got? Just to see.
Just what would it cost?
Yeah, because I'm curious. Mike Tramp, along with doing this, he's also decided that he wants to start blasting at other singers that he says are hacking away or hacking their way through songs because they will not accept the fact that they're 23 anymore. I
I can't
find
read
that
anything.
very, very interesting because
That would be what
yeah,
what what's he saying? Who's he talking about? Because we talk about that stuff.
he doesn't mention anybody. This was an article off of Blabbermouth. This is what he says. He goes, I don't have any form of vocal training. I'm not a trained singer. I've struggled all my life with trying to just keep my vocals in shape and stuff like that. So I don't know really why it happened. I guess it's just happened for that, but it was never my wish to end up there. And I am not the least embarrassed. What there means is the fact that he just turned 63 in January and addressed his need to adjust his singing to suit his now lower voice. He can't sit there and deny what he's done, because the original White Lion songs were pretty high. Songs like "Wait" and "When the Children Cry." Even the fact that he's gotten older now, 63, everything drops.
Right. The balls
So,
drop out.
exactly. Reminds me of a Steel Panther song. Never mind.
Here's another thought, though. If he's going to, let's say it's a Q&A and he's bashing someone a little bit and telling you what he thinks, would he want that videoed recorded? Would he say, I'm going to tell you some dirt, but don't record any of this?
Maybe we should try to get him on it and we'll see. He continued to say that these days when you have to go through and you see all the bullshit on YouTube and all this, some of my fellow old competitor singers that are hacking their way through songs because they will not accept the fact that they're not 23 anymore. He does not name anybody. But he says that I can tell you one thing, regardless of me needing to pay for my living, and I live very, very, very simple, I am not going to go out like Kiss. I'm not going to go out like that because those are my heroes and they have left me really, really disappointed. And that's how you do it. And he's not reading for Blackie Lawless saying, well, it's all for the better of the show, so we play with tracks. That's not why we got into rock and roll. Why is it that people cannot sort of grow a little into it? He talks about like Robert Plant and his voice. Robert Plant's not doing, the high pitched old Led Zeppelin stuff.
Right.
He's
switched gears.
Yeah.
He switched gears, after his solo career to these things he does with Alison Krauss and that sort of thing. So he's adapting his vocal style and what he can do now to, how he performs. So I think that's interesting. And I think it's interesting, too, that he is re-recording these White Lion songs, reimagining them, because what I think is he's probably going to perform them in that way going forward. I think the Cult did this. They re-recorded some of their hits totally differently than what they were because Ian Astbury can't sing like he used to. But now he can sing it this way, and that's how they're going to be going forward. As a fan, I don't know if that's what you want to hear. It depends on what it sounds like. When we reimagine a song, what are we reimagining it as? So, to me, Wait, as far as White Lion goes, Wait is like a perfect song. It's a perfect pop rock song. And I don't want it messed with, but I wonder what he's going to do with it.
I bet he could still pull off Radar Love, though.
Well, maybe, but
I mean, obviously it's a remake, but I mean, it wasn't such a high pitched song that he could probably still pull it off now.
None of them were really high pitched, but Kathy had a point. Just leave certain songs alone.
I think it'll piss off some people if things get messed with too much. Reimagining or not, some things just leave it alone.
We're going to end up seeing the exact same thing, seeing Tom Kiefer. Tom Kiefer cannot sing the way he used to.
he's had to lower things. I'm not saying lower the bar, but he's had to lower some keys a little bit to be able to get those songs out. And you know what? When I see him and I sit there and go, wow, this is not how I remember it, I don't care. It's still the fact that I'm seeing, Tom Kiefer, and, I've got the memory of what it was back in 1988 in the Long Cold Winter Tour, and how badass
Yeah.
it was. So it's still going to be cool to see him.
Oh yeah, specifically to Kiefer though, I know that he works every single day on his vocals because he has to.
Right.
If he doesn't, that vocal paralysis that he experiences will kick in. If he lets it lie and doesn't rehearse or doesn't practice, even vocal warm ups of some sort, every day, he won't be able to sing at all. So no one puts forth more effort, I don't think, especially at his age,
right,
than Tom. So you might be surprised at what you get out of him.
Oh yeah, I mean we're going to see the same thing with Sammy Hagar. At 112, he does not sound like he did when he was 40.
I don't think we'll be very disappointed there either. They speaking of Van Hagar, Sammy Hagar, they just started that tour. Saturday night?
Yep.
This is now Tuesday, so we're a few days into the tour, and I sent you the set list. Did you see the set list?
Oh, I did. I saw one song in particular, and I was fine.
Pound Cake.
As long as Pound Cake is being performed, then I will go. I will hear that song. I will leave.
So 2 songs in, you're done.
Yeah, I'll be done. More importantly, please tell me that you looked it up on YouTube and watched a couple of the performances and seen the outrageous size of freaking Bonham's drum kit.
I know he has 3 kick drums now.
It's insane.
I don't. He won't say why he's using 3, but there's something he's got planned for that 3rd kick drum. I don't know what he's doing. I did see the set a little bit, the stage. It looked really cool. Because there was some stuff on the Instagram page with them moving around and playing some songs and stuff. It sounded fantastic.
Yeah, it's going to be good. So Metallica's back in the news.
Right.
If you haven't heard, a huge ordeal for the Black Album. It's the self-titled album, but everybody calls it the Black Album. It has now spent a total of 750 total weeks on the Billboard 200 chart.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, here's the kicker. It's only the 4th album in history to reach that milestone.
Right. Because we all knew about Dark Side of the Moon.
Yep.
990 total weeks, right? I did not know that Bob Marley's Legend had been on the chart so long, 843 weeks. And Journey's Greatest Hits, 813 total weeks.
Yeah, that's deserving.
I believe it would be deserving, but it surprised me that would be the one.
But think about that. Bob Marley, Journey, Pink Floyd, Metallica. I mean,
right.
I'll go see that tour.
Right.
It's a good range.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's huge. It was at number 178 this week on the top 200. So, I mean, it's hanging in there.
Well, that's still not out of the top 200.
No.
That's actually pretty comfortable. That's a pretty comfortable spot, really.
Yeah. And this isn't even as a result probably of Stranger Things, because that was Master of Puppets. So.
Right. Well, you think it's that sort of thing has helped keep them around, plus I think
they're
exposure they get.
Yep, that's it. Their constant exposure, their nonstop touring, their interaction with fans, the stuff that they do for their charities. I mean, it's all over the place. And James Hetfield is going to continue that exposure because he is going to be in an upcoming dark Western thriller, a movie called The Thicket. Thicket, 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 The Thicket. The first photos have been released, one of which I got a hold of, and it features Mr. James Hetfield, so I'm going to show that here in a minute. The Thicket will be released in theaters on Friday, September 6th, and here's kind of the background on it. Peter Dinklage, you know, Peter Dinklage from Game of Thrones, he plays a character called Shorty. He plays a character called Shorty, who is a bounty hunter enlisted to find a woman who has been kidnapped by a violent killer. The movie, which is set at the turn of the 20th century, follows Shorty and his fellow trackers as they travel into a violent and chaotic place known as the Big Thicket. It also stars Juliette Lewis, Lavon Hawke, Esme Creed Miles, Leslie Grace, and a bunch of other people that I don't know. But more importantly, James Hetfield. And more importantly, I have a picture.
Well, this article states it came from a novel by Joe Lansdale, who I've actually heard of.
Louis L'Amour.
I might pick up that book.
I think this is the picture. I don't know. So if you're watching this, that's not it.
That's what Hetfield looks like?
Yeah, that's what it looks like. So here's James Hetfield in the movie.
You know,
as soon as I see it, it's like, oh, that's James.
Yeah, but from that angle there, I don't even see it. I can't tell it's even him.
I wonder if he goes, freeze! You're under arrest! Spread 'em!
I wonder what led to his role in this. You know, has he wanted to act?
He's been in a couple different things. But I'm going to say, I don't know, did the article even say? But let's see. Yeah, I don't know. It's too much to read right now. The casting of James Hetfield is a story that feels almost destined. It all began with a dream. One morning I woke up with a clear vision that James Hetfield had to be in the movie. And this is from Elliot Lester, who is the director. No, he's the cameraman. He's behind the camera, I guess, producer or whatever. And then Christopher Kelly penning the script. So Lester said, yeah, he's going to be in it. So now he's going to be in it. Good for him. I think it's fantastic. Going to be fun. Maybe.
I think it'll be fun. And if he wasn't good, I don't think they would have him in it. You know, it's not.
You can be good and only have like a line.
Right. You don't have to talk.
No. What if his line is, yeah. That's it.
Think about how good certain Clint Eastwood movies are, and Clint Eastwood doesn't even speak more than 20 lines in the movies, but he's so good in the movies.
Who's another musician
when you look at,
that has went from, let's say, the rock side, rock or metal, that's went on to acting and has done well?
Name one?
Yeah. I can name one spectacular.
Okay.
Jared Leto.
Okay. Yes. He was an actor first, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, he was an actor first.
Yeah.
He was in a season of My So-Called Life, a teen drama. And he was one of the stars of that show as a young man and evolved into as an actor and a performer on stage as a singer. And, that's 30 Seconds to Mars. That's his band. A lot of actors do that stuff, but not a lot of them get wide acclaim for it. Russell Crowe has a band. Bruce Willis has done that stuff.
Yeah, but flip the other side. The musicians that went to the movies.
Okay, musicians that have went to the movies. I can't think of any.
Flea. Flea
Who?
did it.
Flea?
Flea was in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show from Disney Plus. He was in The Outsiders. Remember the 80s movie Thrashing?
But what about moving into mainstream stuff?
Tina Turner.
Like where you're doing broader roles, cameos and such.
Tina Turner.
Okay.
I can't name a whole lot of other ones. I mean, there's some stuff
No,
people say like
name some that
yeah, like Courtney Love. I mean, but we're talking like maybe one or two different things. But I can't think of anybody that's been like strictly involved in a bunch of movies. David Bowie, maybe. Okay, Sandra actually jumped in and said Cher. That's actually a good point. Cher's been in a lot.
Cher, right. Well, and if you're going to go that route, you could go Barbara Streisand.
No, I'm having good music.
You know, who went into acting. Well, okay, but I'm talking. She also was not only an actress, but a director, an Oscar-winning director. So if you're going to go that route, but yeah, Cher's been in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But as far as a rock musician that we're familiar with, you know, the best I can tell you is Bon Jovi's cameo in Young Guns 2.
Yeah.
You know,
it was spectacular.
I think, you know, I mean, he popped up for a second, got shot, and that was it.
Yeah. It's the way to do it.
But as far as having someone who transitions into acting, and I mean acting as a star or significant co-star in a movie, or more than one movie, there's not, none that I can think of.
No, I'm actually looking to see if I can find others for James Hetfield. I mean, you can't really say Through the Never and whatever the other Metallica one was because it doesn't count. Those are literally biographies about the band or, you know, bibliography, whatever you want to call them. But he was in another one where he played a cop, and I cannot remember the name of it. Fully shaved, he didn't no goatee or anything, and I don't remember what it was.
What, Hetfield?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you.
I know. I think I know what you're talking about, and I can't pull it out.
Yeah, there was a movie, and I cannot remember what it was. It may not have been like a super popular, but yeah, I don't know. I can't find it. I'm trying to do a quick search on it, and I can't find nothing.
You mentioned Bowie. He was in Willow, correct?
Correct.
I believe it was Willow. And no, was it Labyrinth?
Or Labyrinth.
Yeah, that's the one.
Same difference.
And that's become a cult classic.
It is.
That's, you know,
I love it.
Right, and why didn't that expand into more things? Because he was significant in that movie.
Because it was too weird, I think, for people. I really do. I think I loved it, but
I've seen it one time.
It was too creepy for some people.
Well, and the last time I was here, we watched it, didn't we? Yeah, we did. Last time I was here. We did.
I like it.
But he was good in it. You know, people like David Bowie are natural performers.
Yes.
So that would lead into acting. You would think maybe he did have more roles offered to him, and he stayed out of it.
James Hetfield has been in quite a few things, including Space Ghost, Coast to Coast, 1996, season 3, episode 11.
Okay.
So yeah,
it's a cartoon.
Oh,
yeah. That's the funny part about that. But yeah, that'll be pretty cool to see. I hope he's got more. You know, I hope he's on screen more than just like a couple minutes. Hopefully, he's a decent character. I want to see him and Peter Dinklage rocking it up.
I want to see them in a shootout.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, he'd shoot him in the knee.
How do you shoot? How do you have a shootout with Peter Dinklage?
Same way you have a dance off.
50
Cardboard.
How? He just shows up and challenges with
Yeah.
cardboard?
Yeah. Ain't got your
You
dragon
missed the
now,
whole
do you?
conversation.
That's all it is.
Just your breakdancing
Yeah. I bet
and
you
your
that gun's
cardboard.
not made out of Valyrian steel.
What?
Didn't you ever
I'm
watch
so
Game of
lost.
Thrones?
That's it. That's a game.
No.
Never.
There was too much sexuality for me.
Oh,
I'm gonna go
whatever. I
for
might
well,
as well
then I'm
just
gonna
pull the
watch it.
plug now. Well, to get you back into your
Too
bases,
much
since we started this off with news of new Steel Panther release tracks, Kathy, you need to keep an eye out for the 15th anniversary album of Steel Panther, because when you get info on it, I want to know about it. Especially track 13
Okay.
that we didn't name. Stryper has officially announced their new album, When We Were Kings. I think it was a week or two ago that we talked about their latest single, which is called End of Days. The actual album, called When We Were Kings, will be released on September 13th. July 18th, so that's 2 days from today. So on Thursday, we will get Love's Symphony, which is the second single released from that album. There are 11 total tracks. They all look like Stryper track names, and I'm sure it'll be good because I've not seen Stryper put anything out that sucks. May not be your cup of tea, but they don't
Well,
put out crap.
right. We've talked about Michael Sweet.
Yeah.
At least with the solo stuff he puts out, it's so good, even now. And it seems like he's still pushing to sing higher and harder and heavier. So I don't look for this to be a letdown.
I don't think it's gonna be.
No.
No, I mean, I don't think they're going to put a product out that they don't stand behind. And Michael Sweet's just a busy guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Of course, their 40th anniversary tour begins this fall, and that's really about all that we have on that. But it should be a good one. What I say, 11 tracks. When We Were Kings, September 13th. Second single comes out in 2 days, called Love's Symphony. So that should be pretty good.
September 13th is a fantastic day.
It's up there with some of them.
You get a great new Stryper record, and you get to celebrate Kathy's birthday.
Yep, good day.
Fantastic.
And speaking of albums and lasts and all that, Mr. Big is finally going to release their last ever live album, called The Big Finish Live. Coming out in September, just in time for Christmas.
Saw this over the weekend.
Yeah.
And for a band that announced on this show from Billy Sheehan that they were finally wrapping it up, they are doing it. I feel like they're doing it in a really good way. They had that extensive tour. They put out one last studio record, and now we're wrapping it. Yeah, is it good?
It is good.
I've
been listening to it all week.
Oh, great! I've not heard of.
I got it in early.
It's out, and I know there's a lot of people that are listening to it. There's they just released it's a video. They call it the visualizer because it's not really a video. It's just like one graphic. So they've released this visualizer for Right Outta Here, which is a song off of their 10 album, their 10th album, called 10.
Yeah.
Whew,
they're smart.
That way I can't, mistake it for anything.
I would have had it. I wish it had 10 tracks, but it has 11. That throws me off. I don't know.
So they're finishing up, with the studio record, the tour, and now a final live record. And I wonder if that'll be it. That probably should be it if you're going to do it. Maybe a greatest hits.
I mean, I feel like if you're going to go out on a high.
Right.
Like Motley Crue should have done.
And welcome, Kathy.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
she's not wrong. What is this? Right Out of Here is the third single off of 10, and I listened to it before we went on the air, and it's not bad. Um, it's good. I mean, they don't sound like they're trying real hard to put out good music. It's good. You know,
right.
you can hear good bass lines. I mean, it's a good song. Kathy was
Well,
just talking about how good the album is. I'm looking forward to listening to the whole thing. So I'm sure it will be good. Even if you were not a Mr. Big fan, it's rock and roll. It's good rock music. Listen to it.
right. And these bands, the older they get, a lot of them can still put out quality records. It's just they don't always want to play them on tour. Doesn't mean the record's bad.
Right.
There's a lot of them. You may not want to have new music from everybody that you know. It may not matter to you, but when you get a good quality record out, you should listen to it.
Yeah. Well, that brings us to the end this week. That's it. I have nothing else.
The Who?
Yeah, the done. That's it.
It's over?
It's over.
It's all done.
Yeah.
You didn't get to Jack Russell's new book.
You know what? We'll
Mr.
save
Bone?
it. We'll save it. We can always read about it later. I get it because it's a book. We can read about it later. We're supposed to be back next week, and that will be the 100th episode. But I don't know if we'll be back next week.
Why?
I don't know. What if we say we'll see you next week, but then Wes shows up to break dance, I fall doing a head spin.
Yeah. Right, and he wins.
Oh, I didn't say anything about winning.
Well, there's got to be consequences if you lose.
What did you say? Consa what?
Consequences if
I
you
thought
lose.
you said consequences, like it was between constipated and a consequence, and it was a consequence.
No, it's like pro wrestling. There has to be a consequence to when you lose. You leave town, or you get your head shaved, or that sort of thing.
I tell you what, he shows up in my driveway with his cardboard. I'm kicking his little